Hello, my lovely students. You are welcome to a new lesson. Today, I shall be teaching you mensuration of solid shapes. From definition, solid shapes are three-dimensional shapes with a considerable length, width or breadth, and height. Some examples of solid shapes include the cuboid, cube, cylinder, cone, prism, pyramid, sphere, and hemisphere. Next, let's learn about the surface area and volume of these solid shapes. Firstly, let us consider the cuboid, which is a three-dimensional shape having a length, a width or breadth, and a height. The total surface area of a cuboid is 2 width times length plus 2 length times height plus 2 height times width. Let's see our first example. Find the total surface area of the cuboid shown below, having a length of 12 cm, a width of 5 cm, and a height of 4 cm. From calculation, the length times the width plus the width times the height plus the height times the length gives us 60 plus 20 plus 48 centimeters squared, which is equal to 128 centimeters squared. The total surface area of the cuboid is 2 times 128 centimeters squared, which is 256 centimeters squared. Next, let's learn about the volume of a cuboid. The volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height. In our next example, let's find the volume of a cuboid having a length of 4 cm, a breadth of 5 cm, and a height of 8 cm. Let me hear from you. Can you find the volume of this cuboid? Let's see. The volume of the cuboid is 160 centimeters cube. I hope you got that right. Next, let's learn about a cube. The total surface area of a cube having equal sides s is 6s squared. The volume of a cube having equal sides s is s raised to power 3, which is s cube. In our next example, let's find the volume and the total surface area of a cube with side length 4 centimeters. The volume of the cube is the side length s raised to power 3. This is equal to 4 centimeters raised to power 3. The volume of the cube is 64 centimeters cube. The total surface area of the cube is 6 times the side length s raised to power 2. This gives 6 times 4 centimeters squared, which is equal to 96 centimeters squared. Next, let's learn about a prism. From definition, a prism is a three-dimensional solid shape with a uniform cross-section and depth. The formula for the volume of a prism is the area of the uniform cross-section or the cross-sectional area times the depth. In our next example, let's find the volume of the prism displayed here. The prism has an L-shaped uniform cross-section and a depth of 12 centimeters. We can find the cross-sectional area by dividing the irregular L shape into two rectangles A and B. The area of rectangle A is the length times the breadth, which is 7 centimeters times 4 centimeters, which is 28 centimeters squared. The area of rectangle B is length times breadth, which is 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters. The area of rectangle B is 30 centimeters squared. The cross-sectional area becomes 30 centimeters squared plus 28 centimeters squared, which is 58 centimeters squared. The volume of the prism is the cross-sectional area times the depth, which is 58 centimeters squared times 12 centimeters. This gives 696 centimeters cube. Next, let's learn about the pyramid. A pyramid is a solid shape having a base with straight sides and a pointed top. The volume of a pyramid is the base area times the height divided by 3. The formula for the volume of a square-based pyramid with sides b and a height h is 1/3 b squared times h. In our next example, let's find the volume of a square-based pyramid having sides 5 centimeters and height 6 centimeters. When you substitute your values into your formula, the volume of the square-based pyramid is 1/3 times 5 centimeters squared times 6 centimeters, which is equal to 50 centimeters cube. Next, let's learn about a cylinder. A cylinder has two flat circular surfaces at the top and the bottom, and a curved surface at the middle. When you split open the curved surface area of a cylinder and you spread it out, it forms a rectangle. The area of the rectangle, which is length times breadth, becomes the curved surface area of the cylinder. The curved surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi radius height. The total surface area of a cylinder is the sum of the areas of the two flat circular surfaces and the curved surface area. The total surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi radius squared plus 2 pi radius height. In our next example, let's calculate the surface area of a hollow cylinder, which is closed at one end, if the base radius is 14 centimeters and the height is 20 centimeters. From the solution, because the cylinder in this question is an open cylinder, the surface area is pi radius squared plus 2 pi radius height. Taking pi as 22/7 and substituting your values into the formula, the total surface area of the hollow or open cylinder is 2,376 centimeters squared. I hope this solution is clear to you. In our next example, let's find the volume of a cylinder having a diameter of 4 meters and a height of 15 meters. The formula for the volume of a cylinder is pi radius squared height. Here, pi is 22/7 and the radius is half of the diameter, which is 2 meters. From calculation, the volume is 188.57 meters cube. Next, let's learn about a cone. A cone is a solid shape with a circular base and a pointed top called the vertex or the apex. A cone has a slant height and a perpendicular or vertical height. The volume of a cone is 1/3 times pi radius squared height. This means 1/3 times pi times the square of the base radius times the perpendicular or vertical height. The total surface area of a cone is pi radius squared plus pi radius s, where s is the slant height. From the diagram, we can see that the curved surface area of a cone can be formed from a sector. The formula relating the area of the sector and the curved surface area of the cone is the angle of the sector theta divided by 360 degrees is equal to the base radius of the cone r divided by the slant height of the cone l. Looking at our next example, the radius and the slant height of a cone are 35 cm and 37 cm respectively. Find the curved surface area and the total surface area of the cone. From the solution, the curved surface area of a cone is pi times the base radius times the slant height. This gives 4070 centimeters squared. Also from the solution, the total surface area of a cone is pi times the base radius times the sum of the slant height and the base radius. This gives 7920 centimeters squared. In our next example, a sector containing an angle of 120 degrees was cut off from a circle of radius 21 centimeters and folded into a cone. Find the base radius of the cone. Take pi is equal to 22/7. From the solution, the angle of the sector theta divided by 360 degrees is equal to the base radius of the cone r divided by the slant height of the cone l. Applying this formula, the base radius of the cone becomes 7 centimeters. In our final example, let's find the volume of the cone displayed here with a base radius of 8 centimeters and a vertical or perpendicular height of 18 centimeters. From the solution, the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi radius squared height. When you substitute your values into the formula and you calculate, the volume of the cone is 1206.85 centimeters cubed. I hope all these solutions are clear to you. Thank you very much for going through the lesson today. I want to advise that for you to get more information about the topic, mensuration of solid shapes, please continue to read your textbook. Don't forget to attempt your quiz and your assignment. I hope to see you again in our next class. Until then, it is goodbye for now. Thank you very much.